Okay, guys, so it went very well. I couldn't be happier, actually. I'm shocked that it was this good. So let me explain everything. When I got there, there were 9 people in the virtual courtroom and a few in the regular courtroom. And then we were the last case that they heard. There were some people there, though, from like an anti-fraud group based out of California. So that's interesting because people can come as guests to hear public cases. So the fact that somebody might have wanted to hear it was interesting to me. Very. We had a different judge than the one also that was listed, and I don't know anything about what that judge would have been like. They might would have been just fine. The person that was there was great. I was able to observe them in the cases before ours, and he was very thoughtful and seemed like he was, you know, very unbiased and very calm, and that put me at ease a lot. So when it was our turn, the first thing he cited was not being sure about some things in her demurrer. And that was great. So we talked about that. And then there's a thing that I touched on briefly a few videos ago with you guys that we still don't have resolved, so I can't talk about it yet, but we almost have it resolved. He let me explain it, and he understood exactly what I was citing, and he wanted me to have an opportunity to get that done. But because it's a weird case, there's documents that you file for certain things that are very straightforward. Like if this were a family law case, you know exactly what you're supposed to file to get this and to get that. This is a different type of case, so it's kind of hard, and the clerks they're not all even on the same page about what you're supposed to file. So he cited that I filed exactly the right thing, but the authority I used wouldn't work for that thing. So he asked if I had another one to cite, and I started to look for one right then. And he said, no, you don't have to do that. Just how long do you think it would take you to put that together? And I said, oh, a week is more than enough. So he gave me till March 10th in order to put that together, and we're not even going to have a hearing. As long as I put that together, he's granting that. So this judge does not have a punitive attitude toward me. If anything, I observe a punitive attitude toward the other party. Because at one point when we were then settling, he asked if either of us had anything else to add to the hearing that we're going to have to finish helping him make his final decision on things. I said she didn't have anything, and I said I have found some really interesting new case law as well that would go along with things. Would it be all right to present that, serve it on the other party, and then present it to the court? And he said, absolutely. How long do you need? And I said 2 weeks would be more than enough time, because he set our hearing date out for April 29th. So that gives me, because I said that, it gives me till March 21st to do that. And it's not a big deal to do that. I just would really love to add some of that I happened to find post everything being done before. And then she has till April the 4th to send a response to me for that. And then we'll hash the rest of this out on the 29th. He's already not totally on board with them. He, at the very end, enabled me to catch her in a lie in front of him. And this was again at her. He said, I'm sure you two have had time to talk. Have you, Priscilla, have you guys thought of reaching some kind of amenable conclusion to this, meaning I think he doesn't understand why they won't deplatform this wanted fugitive based on just him violating their terms of service and whatnot with the links and everything else that he's read about. But she said this vague response of, we've let her know that unless she rescinds some of this, we just can't, we don't see a conclusion. And I was appalled that is a lie. I put my hand up, for my turn, and he said, yes, Miss Henderson. And I said, during their first investigative period, took everything off the table except for deplatforming the most dangerous of the 2 wanted fugitives. And they wouldn't do that. And then during the second investigative period, they won't even now admit that he's the same man that they already banned, who was Faria. And he's on the Goatis channel right now with a link to child sex abuse on Telegram's Faria. And they know that and won't even admit that. So I put everything, including reporting duties, back on the table. So he understands that there's no conclusion being drawn, but he understands it's them, that I was at multiple points, because he can read the timeline of what I said happened, amenable to all kinds of other solutions, when really a person shouldn't be, because they actually they're bound by way of law to do all of what I'm asking for. So I may not win on every point, but he did not dismiss this with prejudice like she expected. And he certainly has an expectation of them to prove up why he should dismiss any of it. So that is very promising, and we are going to hash that out on April the 29th. So thank everybody for all their support. I'm sorry it's not like completely over in a good way, but I'm glad it's not completely over in a bad way. I'm very happy with what looks to be a judge that wants to do the right thing, and he knows this case is not being brought forth for anything but good reasons. the whole reason you use a courtroom. And I think he gets it, that this is a weird case that requires extraordinary relief when a company wants to act the way they're acting. So I couldn't have asked for more. I'm very, very happy. It's so nice I'll have a little bit of a break from this because these things I have to draft are not difficult. I'll be a lot more at ease about presenting the case with a judge like that. So I'm thrilled. So yeah, I'll probably take a little bit of a net break here pretty soon too, because this has been kind of grueling. So I'm just thrilled. And I hope everybody else is so good to deliver good news for Diane as well to have. Everybody have a good rest of your week. Thanks. Bye-bye.